Okay, now it is officially sewn on completely. A little quick and funky in some spots because I'm quick and lazy. I'm not making it for anybody. When I made the first one for a newborn, and I figured in the end that they're probably only going to put it on it once for pictures, and after that I was going to end up on, a teddy bear. Until the kid gets old enough that he's going to want to start playing with it, and then he's going to yank it and he's going to pull it and drag it around and put it on different things. And I sewed that up so tightly, and especially the horns, because those are the parts that he's probably really going to pull on and play with and swing around. And so I sewed that up so tightly that when I had to take it out because I messed up the placement, that it took me a good 2 or 3 hours to get it undone. So yeah, that was very tight. So if you're going to make this for a kid, you're going to want to make sure that you sew it really well, because you don't want it to come out and stuffing come out everywhere, and it's just not fun. Nobody enjoys that. So we're just going to sew. We're going to give it a little knot. I think I'm going to have to bring a light over here. It's starting to get dark. So we're just going to make a little knot here and weave it in across. And then, because we have some extra space back behind it, we're just going to go ahead and kind of tuck it through, because you're not going to see it. It's going to be behind the nose guard. We're going to tuck it through and pull it and snip off our end. There we go. And that's it, all sewn up. And I'm going to go move a light over so we can start working on the horns. Now that's the really fun and tedious part, but it looks really good, and I think it's worth the extra effort of making the horns the way I do. And we'll be doing that in a second. Stay tuned. Okay, now we're going to start off making our horn. We're going to start with doing a slip knot. I don't think this is focusing where it should be. Let's do that again. Okay, so we're going to start, we did our slip knot, and we're going to chain however many we think we need it to be around. This is a small thing, so I probably only need it to be about this size, which is not very big. If you're doing an adult size, you're probably going to want to chain around a fair amount. But since I'm just doing that small, oops, probably not going to need to chain that many. So it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you guys don't want to watch me chain. So I'll find the right chain amount and I'll come back to you. Okay, I've chained about 15 on this double knit yarn using a, oh, you can't see that. That's a 4.25 millimeter or a G hook. And I'd say it's about 15 chains. And when you get it around, so it's going to be about that size on the helmet. So get a chain and kind of put it around and put it on your helmet and see, is that how big you want it? Do you want it bigger? Do you want it smaller? Obviously it's going to be, dependent on, I guess, your personal choice as well. So I think that's pretty good size for a horn on that particular. I would suggest, if you're making an adult size, to use a bigger yarn. And we're going to just have this in the round, and I should restart it so it's all macro again. Hold on. Okay. And because you're not going to see this part, it's going to be under the mount for it, which will be over this, and what's really going to hold it on to it. So if you want to be a little bit neater, you can go ahead and try doing through the back loop of the other crochet. I'm just going to go straight through because I'm going to be lazy and it's a lot quicker. But if you wanted to go through the back loop, this is right there, that's the back loop. And usually you should do that in projects because it does make it a lot neater. So that would be the back loop. But I'm not. I'm just going to go straight through the chain and start working around. And I'm just going to do the spiral. And I'm not going to like stop, connect it, and chain up or anything. I'm not going to increase. Just straight around all the way to begin. And so yeah. So I'll meet you back at that point. Okay, so I've gone all the way around once. And I'm about to continue, but first I wanted to make a note of, you should write down what you're doing for this so that you know on the other one how many you should do, so you don't have like, you know, an awkward lopsided horns. I chained 19 and now I've done one row, and I just put a little mark down for the first row that I've done. And now I'm going to start the second one. So I'm just going to left-handed awkwardly mark. This is row 2. So I'm just going to work around. I really don't like boy hooks, I don't think. They always seem to split the yarn on me. So I'm just going to work all the way around for a few rows, just plain like this. And probably 4 or 5 rows for me on this yarn for this hat. Because it's going to have another section of gray around it that's going to be the mount that comes off of the hat. And that's just going to be all around this plain part, so you're not actually going to see this area here. But we need it anyway. So I'm going to say 4 or 5 just plain single crochet around for me on this one. Your mileage may vary depending on how big you want your mount to be of your hat. You know, for your adult or child or whatever size hat you happen to be making. So, alright, I'll see you in about 4 rows. Okay, now I just did 5 on mine, and as you can see, I did some sloppy counting. So I chained 19 and 5 rows of single crochet. And so make sure you write down the number you did, and I figured that'd be quite big enough for this hat. So now we get to the interesting part. I don't know if this technique already has a name. I just sort of made it up while I was doing some freeform stuff, like just trying different textures and things. And it's like a kind of a 2-row technique, and I don't have the original hat here to show you how it looks while I'm working on it, so you're just going to have to play along and see for yourself. And so this technique requires you to work in what I guess would be, if you're looking at the right side of the fabric here, but we're actually looking into the wrong side. Are we? I don't know. Would it be like this? Yes. Okay. So here's the right side of the fabric. And I was just holding it funky. And there's the wrong side. And so this technique is going to require us to... Okay, again, ran out of memory. Or space, or, yeah, not memory. I really need to get a larger memory card for this camera. Anyway, so this is where we're going to start. And so this is going to require us to work in the front loop. Hopefully you can get a good see. Okay. Into the front loop. And this is a 2-row kind of stitch. So into the front loop. So let's get some of the back loop. Okay. There we go. And this is going to give us, as you can see, kind of a little ridge here where the front loop is, or the back loop, because we're working into the front loop, and that's the back loop that's left. So we're going to go all the way around, and you'll be able to tell when you get back to the front again, because you'll be able to see the ridge. So we're going to go all the way around, working into the front loop. And whatever's easiest way to work for you. I like to kind of grab it with the hook and go under. I think that works easiest for me. Obviously, you do what works for you. So, grab it under, front loop. And we're going to do that all the way around. And it creates, as you can see, a little ridge. And once you get back to the first ridge, I'll show you what we do next. So I'm going to go all the way around, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, now I'm back around. As you can see, I have the ridge from the back loop, and it's on the inside. You might be confused as shouldn't the ridgy part be on the outside? But wait, there's more. We're going to start working this row on the inner loop. Okay. So hopefully you can see this. So we're back at our point. And you can tell because the next stitch that you would do would go into this one, and right there is a ridge. Oh, hold on, I have to sneeze.